Did ancient Egyptians use advanced tools, or are we underestimating one of the greatest engineering cultures in human history? When most people picture the pyramids, they imagine massive stones stacked into a triangle in the desert. But when engineers look at the Great Pyramid of Giza, they see something else: precision, alignment, control. Over 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing 2 to 15 tons, some granite beams inside the king's chamber weighing over 50 tons, all placed with astonishing accuracy. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with an error of only a fraction of a degree. That level of alignment is difficult even today without modern instruments. So how did they do it 4,500 years ago? Official history tells us the Egyptians used copper chisels, stone hammers, wooden sledges, ropes, and ramps. No steel, no iron tools during the Pyramid Age, no powered drills, no modern cranes. And yet, when researchers examine certain granite cores drilled from the pyramids and surrounding structures, they find spiral drill marks, marks that suggest controlled rotary motion, not random pounding, not simple scraping, but steady, circular cutting. Granite is extremely hard, harder than copper. So how do you drill into granite with a soft metal tool? One explanation is sand abrasion. Copper tubes used as drills, quartz sand as an abrasive, water for lubrication. Over time, the sand does the cutting. The copper merely holds the abrasive in place. That theory works in principle, but here's where it gets interesting. Some studies of drill core samples suggest penetration rates that seem unusually efficient, as if the drill moved into the granite with surprising speed and consistency. Were these simply highly skilled craftsmen using patience and technique, or was there something more sophisticated about their methods? Then there are the stone blocks themselves. Inside the Great Pyramid, many limestone blocks fit together so tightly that a sheet of paper can barely pass between them. No mortar in many areas, just precision fitting. In some casing stones, now mostly removed, the outer surface was polished to a near-mirror finish. Imagine shaping millions of blocks by hand with soft copper tools. Now consider the granite beams in the king's chamber. These were quarried in Aswan, roughly 500 miles south of Giza, each weighing dozens of tons, transported down the Nile, then lifted and positioned more than 140 feet above ground level inside the pyramid structure, without modern cranes, without hydraulic systems, without steel cables. So what tools were truly available to them? Archaeologists have found copper chisels, dolerite pounding stones, wooden sledges depicted in tomb reliefs. There are carvings showing workers pouring water in front of sledges to reduce friction. Experimental archaeology has demonstrated that wet sand can reduce drag significantly. So manpower and engineering ingenuity may explain more than we assume. But there are still questions. Some internal granite cuts are remarkably straight for hand-guided tools. Some researchers have suggested that large copper saws with abrasive sand could have been used. Experimental tests show that with enough time and sand, even granite can be cut, but it is slow, painfully slow. And that brings us to the deeper question. When we look at the pyramids, are we judging ancient capabilities by modern assumptions? We assume copper equals primitive. We assume lack of electricity equals limitation. But ancient Egypt was a civilization that lasted thousands of years. Knowledge accumulates over centuries. Techniques improve. Skills refine. Lost methods disappear when empires fall. What if the Egyptians developed specialized stone-working techniques that were later forgotten? What if certain master craftsmen held secrets passed down orally? When the civilization declined, those secrets vanished. That would not require alien technology. It would require human knowledge that did not survive. Another factor rarely discussed is labor scale. Modern construction relies on machines to reduce manpower. Ancient construction relied on manpower to replace machines. If you have thousands of trained workers repeating the same precise technique for decades, skill levels can reach astonishing heights. Then there is the argument about internal chambers. The relieving chambers above the king's chamber contain massive granite slabs stacked to distribute weight. The structural understanding required to prevent collapse under millions of tons of stone is impressive. They understood load distribution, they understood compression, they understood stability, not with computer models, but through observation and accumulated architectural experience. So did they use advanced tools? If by advanced we mean powered machinery like modern drills and saws, there is no direct archaeological evidence of such machines. If by advanced we mean highly refined techniques using simple tools in sophisticated ways, then yes, absolutely. Advanced does not always mean mechanical. It can mean procedural. It can mean systematic. It can mean organized knowledge. The pyramids challenge us because they sit at the edge of what seems possible without modern technology. They force us to confront a bias, the bias that ancient equals inferior. But look at the facts. The Great Pyramid stood as the tallest man-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. It survived earthquakes, it survived erosion, it survived human interference. Its base is level within inches across acres of foundation. Its alignment is nearly perfect. That is not accidental. That is engineering. The question is not whether Egyptians were advanced. The evidence says they were. The real question is how advanced. Did they possess techniques that we have not fully reconstructed? Did they optimize copper tools with abrasives beyond what we imagine? Did they employ large-scale coordinated labor systems more efficient than we assume? Or have we simply underestimated what disciplined human effort can achieve without electricity? Sometimes mystery doesn't mean lost machines. Sometimes it means lost mastery. And perhaps that is the most humbling possibility of all. Because if the pyramids were built with simple tools and extraordinary skill, then the true hidden technology was not mechanical. It was human. Human organization, human mathematics, human endurance, human knowledge refined over centuries. The pyramids do not whisper about aliens. They whisper about capability, about what a civilization can accomplish when vision, resources, and belief align. And maybe the greatest hidden technology of the pyramids was the minds of the people who built them.